interviews with business owners and veteran executives who share their wisdom and expertise to help you de-stress, free up time, and make more money. Prophets of IT. Welcome back to the Prophets of IT. I am Jim Punzenberger, your host, and the creator of the Managed Prospecting System. Looking to generate new clients or partners without cold calling, ad spend, or spamming? Be sure to check out managedprospectingsystem.com. I'm very excited this Friday morning to have Stephen with me as my prophet. Stephen's connected people from, he's been on helicopters in the Arctic to jungles in, I assume that's South America, to boats on the Gulf of Mexico, and has kept everybody communicating. And he's done it in going back to before video conferencing was actually a thing. He's kind of created it. So Stephen, please introduce yourself and tell us something interesting about yourself outside of work.
Well, thanks a lot, Jim. And I want to thank you again for inviting me today. I am 𝐷𝒓𝒐𝒑𝒉𝒆𝒕𝒔. I am president of 𝗲𝐿𝐿𝐶, and I've been doing this longer than most people have been alive, it seems like. Started off actually as an alpha tester for Intel Pro Video Solutions back in 1985. Back then, we were trying to connect the hearing impaired children at the Texas School for the Deaf with their parents in homes. And it grew into a passion of mine, and the new technology and the new things we can do so that people could communicate better and so that people could see each other while they're doing it. We were doing video conferencing back when we were soldering our own codecs and writing our own code. And that took us all over the world. We got to meet some wonderful people and a couple of good stories back behind that. And some of them we can't share on a podcast. But we've been doing this and changing our business for the last 27 years and really looking forward to speaking with you today.
Well, what would you say is your superpower, or what do you say you do better than anybody else?
If I had a superpower, it's that I have surrounded myself with some fantastic people in my life. We can't do this alone, and
right.
Networking is something that's absolutely essential for anybody in the technology industry, because you're always going to pick something up from somebody else. And when you get stuck, you can just call and kind of bounce things off of people. But networking and getting to know other people, I think, really is the thing that sets us apart from others. We like to partner with anybody, anywhere, at any time. And if we can help you, great. If we can't, fine. If you can help me, I'm there for you whenever you need me.
So how, any tips on getting better at networking?
Well, just go, just show up. This may seem strange and kind of out of character, but I'm actually an introvert. If I don't like approaching people and talking to them.
Seems like you're lying right now.
Yeah, it's a thing. We get invitations for lunch and learns all the time. We get invitations to different trade shows. There's industry groups that meet in every town around the country. Accept them. Go. It may be something you think you are the leading expert on the world. Somebody may say, this phone sounds better on a lunch and learn. But just by showing up, they always said showing up is 90% of the job. Just by showing up, there may be one person in there. There may be one line. There may be one thing that makes a difference in the rest of your life. And you've got to be open to accept what other people have to offer you. And not to mention, you can make some fantastic friends. Some of my closest friends are people that I met at networking events for the IT industry. And there's just an amazing amount of wonderful people out there that you can network with.
So you say you're an introvert and you don't seem introverted right now. I think there's a lot of people in the IT industry that are naturally introverted. How do you have tips on, being, if you're like myself, I'm personally naturally introverted, to be more extroverted? How do you how do you go from being introverted to extroverted?
Well, I would say you could drink but you can't be drinking all the time. No, honestly, it's when you can find something in common with someone, it makes it easier to go to the next step. You know, you and I have spoken in the past, and we love dogs. We both have dogs, and we pick them. That's a connection. Just being in the same industry is a connection, you know, and if you're talking to people, you know, just ask them how it's going, and they're going to let you know where the conversation is going to go. So asking questions is really the best way to kind of get out of it. I was a little bit blessed in this because in a different life, I used to manage restaurants, and it's impossible to manage a restaurant without going out and talking to the customers and seeing how everybody's doing it. And I worked for a company that it was an absolute 100% requirement that you talk to every single table in the restaurant while they're sitting there, no matter who sat there. Now, it doesn't happen that much in restaurants anymore, but it's that customer service and that customer experience that we still have to have today. You know, when we're selling in technology or MSP or something like that, the thing that gets missed in customer experience is following up. You know, just reach out. Hey, you know, hadn't heard from you in a month or so. How is everything? And it gives them a sense that you truly care about them, which hopefully you do. But it also, it opens up new opportunities for you because they're, oh, well, I'm having this. And it may be that you get to refer a friend. It may be that, you know, that there's something that's not working, but they just were afraid to take, because most people don't think like this, but people are afraid to complain. They don't want to complain. They're going to wait until it's broken. And a lot of times they wait until it's too late to fix the issue. So by just having that conversation and opening up and going out and talking to them, you may know some little things that you can fix and completely change their customer experience. You know, the people that have problems and we can fix those problems for them, that's how you actually create a loyal customer. You know, if I put in, you know, a firewall for somebody and they never know how it runs, they don't know how it works, they don't have anything, but they're only getting 50% of the speed they used to. I'll never know that. They'll never mention it to me. But as I reach out and do it, and then I fix that, then we can talk, okay, well, here's your firewall. Let's talk about some endpoint security. Let's talk about some other things. It opens you up to more communications with people, and it allows you to actually get out there and become a partner with your customers, as opposed to being somebody who sells them things. You know, it makes it much more of a joint venture than being Walmart and selling them whatever they need.
Got it. So any other thoughts around this?
Well, I mean, everybody's talking about the customer experience these days. You know, I know that's a hot buzzword.
Yes, CX is a popular phrase.
It's a popular phrase, and it almost kills me that you do it. But this is kind of, you know, back in there's lots of different, you know, sales systems that people talk about, that you can go out there and you can either do the Sandler method, or, you know, you can do what's the one that you can do one of these other methods, and it's, hey, we're here for you. We want to know what your concerns are. We want to know this. And that's great. But people are now understanding that that's actually what you're doing. You're using a method to go out and sell. And that turns a lot of people off. The personal touches, you know, if you're talking to somebody and they mention, you know, sorry, I can't meet on Friday, my wife's birthday is that day, write it down on your calendar. Then follow back up. How was your wife's birthday? It's there a year later. Hey, you know your wife's birthday is coming up. You know, is everything going okay?
You were talking about, you know, I guess personal relationships with your clients, and
yeah, and
almost becoming friends with them. It sounds like
it does, and you really should become friends with them. There's a couple of reasons. One is they're going to trust you for their future needs. They're going to refer you to their friends. They are going to speak about you, you know, just, hey, got this call out of the blue. The more your name gets out there, the better it is. The other part of that is you're going to enjoy your job a whole lot more. Nobody likes just smiling and dialing to people they don't know. Nobody wants to go out and just pound the pavement every day until something goes correctly. But everybody wants to talk to an old friend or somebody that even they just have warm feelings about. So that, you know, those relationships are what make you successful. You know, somebody who's out there just churning customers in and out, and it doesn't matter how many sales they have, because somebody else is going to come and they're going to make that customer feel better later. So you want to establish that relationship. And even if somebody comes in with a better price and say, hey, you know, I heard this, and, you know, their price is 30% lower. It gives you the opportunity to say, well, there's two ways of approaching it. First, you can say, okay, well, this is why ours costs a little bit more. You know, this is what it is. This is what we're getting. This is how we're protecting you. And this is how we're doing it. The other thing is, if they're offering the same solution, you can say, let me tell you, that's a great price. I would talk to them, make sure everything's good. And I understand if you need to do that, because sometimes it's better to worry about the customer's needs more than it is to keep that customer as a revenue source, because that's when, again, they refer you out. They still include you on future projects. If something goes on down, they're going to talk to you later, and you're leaving with good feelings. And then you're building that trust. And trust is everything, especially in tech, because with all of this horrible news we get every day about there's a breach here, there's, you know, 20 million credit cards that were stolen, you know, all of your passwords are online. Everybody is scared, and they should be, to be real honest with you. But who are you going to go to? Are you going to recommend Norton to somebody because they do it? Or are you going to talk to the person who's been protecting you and you have trust in his ability to take care of you?
I got an opportunity for a networking or an ask, anybody that should be reaching out to you? And why should, and if so, why should they be reaching out to you?
Well, I tell you, I will talk to anybody anytime. You can find me on LinkedIn. I know 𝗲𝒐𝐿𝐶 has pages on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else. But, you know, set up your own thing. If you don't have something around, why don't you call up, you know, 5 people in your town who are your competitors, meet for coffee. You know, networking is important. And again, even if you're selling similar, nobody sells exactly the same as somebody else. You know, I've got a good friend here in town who has one of the best IT companies, and actually on site and remote and everything else, but she doesn't do pen testing. Hey, pen testing is a great thing for us. You know, hey, let's send it there. But if I need somebody who's hands-on for, you know, Microsoft servers and managing things like that, I'll call her. I'll say, okay, here we go. This is how we do it. And building those relationships makes you a much more valuable asset to your clients, but you get them through networking.
I've gotten a lot of business through networking myself, so I'm with you there. And if somebody wanted to reach out to you, could reach out to you on any of the socials, or
they can reach out to me, and I'll throw out my email address for you if you like. You can reach me at 𝑠𝐶hesser@𝗲𝒂𝐶corp.net. So, and I'm available just about any time.
Well, thank you for coming on today and sharing with us.
All right. Thank you, Jim. It was great seeing you again, and I hope we get to talk soon.
Looking forward to it. Until next time on the Prophets of IT, I am Jim Punzenberger, your host, the creator of the Managed Prospecting System, looking to generate new clients or partners. Be sure to check out managedprospectingsystem.com. Thank you for tuning in to the Prophets of IT. Please smash that like button, subscribe, and share.